Here's our rational number notes, and here we go. There we go. Let's look at these. I know it's a little big here. Maybe. All right, sorry, friends. That's better. Okay, so we are in our new unit. We are talking about rational numbers. There's all kinds of numbers. We're going to break down our rational numbers. So, starting it, rational numbers, our definition says any number that can be expressed as a fraction. In the form a over b or negative a over b, because we're going to be talking about negative numbers, where a and b, hang on a minute, a and b are integers. I was having a brain fart there. Are integers, okay? And b is not 0. 0 can never be a denominator. If you want to do something fun, ask Siri, what is 0 divided by 0? And you'll get a funny little answer there. But going on, natural numbers. So we're going to break this down. So we have our number system, okay? Our natural numbers are in the middle, okay? These are our natural numbers, okay? Natural numbers are naturally occurring, meaning the positive 1 and on, okay? So we have 1. Yeah, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we continue on. Okay, so please notice, natural numbers are whole numbers, okay? Starting with 1 and moving on through infinity. Whole numbers are right here, whole numbers. Okay, so whole numbers also include natural numbers. Whole numbers start with 0, go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth. Okay? Then we have integers. Integers include whole numbers and natural numbers. Okay? Integers also include negative numbers. So they're negative. So let's say -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, +1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth. Okay? So note again, integers include positive and negative numbers. It also includes 0, and there's no decimals, and there's no fractions. Please notice that. Natural has no decimals or fractions, neither does whole, neither does integer. Okay? So, sorry, I had to get a drink right there. Then, rational numbers. Rational numbers. Rational numbers they include everything, but also decimals. So we're going to say all natural whole numbers, integers, but also fractions and decimals, okay? So we're going to come down here and we're going to label each diagram and we're going to add numbers, okay? So the center here would be natural, like our diagram top, then whole numbers, then integers, and then outside is rational, which encases everything. So we're going to start, excuse me, this cold is kicking my butt. We'll go right here. Okay, starting with -4. -4 is an integer. So if we're saying natural, whole, integer is right here, -4. Okay, put a check by your integer when we've addressed it. 6.8 is a decimal. Rational numbers include fractions and decimals, okay? So they're not natural, they're not whole, they're not integers, but rational is on the outside. 6.8 is a rational number. Negative 2.8, well again, yes, it's negative. However, it's a decimal, which means it's rational, which means it comes over here on the outside. I have 1/2, which is a fraction, which makes it rational on the outside. And then I have 0. Let's note, 0 is not a natural number, so it cannot go in the center, but it is a whole number, which also means it's an integer, and it's a rational number, okay? Let's look at our next diagram, okay? So, well, hang on, we'll do this too. If you want to take another color, do this. So these are my natural. This is my whole. This is my integer. And then outside, rational. Okay? Excuse me. So in this little diagram right here, my natural, my whole numbers, my integers, and on the outside, I'm going to say my rational. Okay, so let's go back. -7, we know, is an integer. Okay, it's not natural or whole because it's negative. So -7 is going to be an integer right here. The number 1, let's look back up here. Well, number 1, it is rational. It's also an integer. It's also a whole number, and it's also a natural number. So if it qualifies for everything, it's going to go here in the middle. 25, well, it's rational because it includes natural, whole numbers, integers. It's an integer because it's a whole number and it's positive. It's a whole number. It's also a natural number. So 25 is also going to be in here. So -2/3. Well, automatically it's a fraction, which we know is rational. It's not natural, it's not whole, it's not integer. Remember, decimals and fractions automatically go to my rational section. And then -4.2, it's a decimal, that makes it rational. And then 6/12 is a fraction, okay? Now I will say we will come across some fractions that if you simplify, they become whole numbers, so we got to be aware of that. But in this case, 6/12, even if we simplified, it's 1/2, it's still a fraction, which makes it rational. So, there we go. That's our rational number notes. That's it, friends.